good. On and show up really good today as always. Alright, shalom, shalom, shalom to Lakim out there. Shema Shwan Banya Hawada here with another video. I can't it's edifying. The Spirit upon me to be able to give another lesson in the very, very extreme cold, but I'm prepared for it. You know, so first and foremost, we're going to face the east. I'm going to say Kalaimla, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem Ha, Kakadash. A double honors to the elders and apostles, the great most of the past, and to the law. Alright. We're out here for a lesson. You know, play it by ear. If I have to close up early, I will. Like if my ear starts shutting down and I have to make a hasty escape, I'll do that. It's happened before. But I can't short because it wasn't too cold for me, but it was too cold for my phone. But I put the hand warmers inside the glove. There we go. That's a trick that I learned in upstate. I spent a considerable amount of time upstate dealing with the cold up there. So the cold down here is really nothing. You know, I've been through a lot worse. You know, camped through a lot worse. So, you know, not to be proud, no one could go through the Most High's cold. I'm just saying, you know, as I said, I'll play it by ear, low one, I'm able to do a full-on lesson. You know, don't have to cut anything short. I don't want to do that. I want to be able to give you something substantial here. So, turn on the Bluetooth and everything. Let me see, 12 tribe chart is down. You know, got that off to the side, and then I'll move you over here, keep this kind of close. Because I can see the wind probably throwing it around a little bit when the wind speed picks back up. Alright. So, this is a scripture that I talked about today. So, might as well. Well, I talked about it literally yesterday. So, you know, it's not against the rules to bring out the same thing again, you know. As we always bring out, you know, repetition is the father of skill, right? So, if you want to get good at something, you got to do it a whole lot. You know, that goes for the truth and it goes for anything. You know, you want to be a good boxer, you better put the time in the boxing room. You better go to second practice, third practice, fourth practice, you know, do that every single day. I'm saying if you want to be like competitive, you know. This is the book of Sirach 39:1. He that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High is occupied in meditation thereof, and seek out the wisdom of the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies. Okay, you know, to be occupied so it needs to be fully within it. You know, to be about it. Verse 2, keep the sayings of renowned men, but such parables are also, right? Seek out the secrets of great senses and be conversant in dark parables. And then when we do that, we, you know, getting into these dark sayings and scriptures, things that, you know, written throughout Revelations, revealing things that are written in the Apocrypha, which also means to reveal. You know, we're into all that, right? You seek out the secrets, right? Verse 4, discern great men came before princes and traveled to strange countries where they tried the evil among men. Absolutely. And that happened back then. Back then. That's the way we had to get around. We had to travel around and things. We had to, go to different countries and stuff like that. Like literally, like Apostle Paul would take a lot of boats and ships. You read about that in the book of Acts. The Apostle Paul would be, going to like Thessaly, traveling from Jerusalem to Thessaly, from here to, different areas. Corinth, Rome. He was brought over to Rome and stuff like that. I believe he came back later on and he was martyred eventually. And so that's how it was, But nowadays, through the internet, we don't have to go travel. He'll give his heart to reserve early to the Lord that made him. He will pray before the Most High and will open his mouth in prayer and make supplication for his sin. Right? The Lord will, he shall be filled with the spirit of understanding. He shall pour out wise senses and give thanks unto the Lord in his prayer. And that's what happens. And that's what we do. And that's what our elders do. We start with our elders and apostles of Great Millstone. If I didn't say it already, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, do 1 to 12. I think I said it. But I don't know. Sometimes we just kind of get started, and I'm a little cold, so forgive me if I've forgotten. I didn't mean to. It's not a slight against Elder Apostle Har, Elder Apostle Mahmoud, Elder Apostle Har. It's not a slight against you. It's just an honest mistake. Honestly, the rest of you brothers out there, GMS, you affiliates out there, you sincere of you, those brothers I learned from. I learned from everyone, man. We all say the same thing, because we're bound in the unity of the Spirit. Right? He shall direct his counsel and knowledge, and his secrets shall he meditate. Right? He shall direct his counsel and knowledge, and his secrets shall he meditate, and that's what the Most High does. Right? So, I was watching a video, not too long ago. I think it was by the brothers in maybe Texas or something. But they made a video kind of, talking about, kind of about going against a Christian. And this Christian was going into trying to say that free will exists. That's what these Christians believe in. My own mother believes that free will exists. Meanwhile, us that are in the know, we know these what the scripture says. Lord, is how they can man on his own way. Man ponders hearts and minds and people, directs the paths. Man control his own way. I know the one in 2nd and 4th chapter, the Lord hangs the grain of the world in the balance. Means that he controls, everything. He can foresee the future. He is and is omnipresent and omnipotent. So he's all powerful, and he's everywhere. The angels, the eyes of the Lord, 10,000 times brighter than the sun. So he's watching everything. If we know the Lord can intervene, right, and he's watching everything, wouldn't it then make logical sense that he controls everything, and that everything is just following, his kind of blueprint? Think about it. You shall shoot forth that which you have learned in glory in the law of the covenant of the Lord. Right? And that's what we do. That's how we find our glory, by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability. We know where that's about faith. That's not about the law. We can't keep the law perfectly. We're under captivity. We're here in the land of our enemies, the land of our captivity. But at the end of the day, we don't be like the rest of these nations. That's all that we're back in those things. Those laws, those words, magical lose their effect. They should be thorns in your sides, thorns in your eyes. It's here. Thorns in eyes. book of Joshua, which is really his name is Yahushua, chapter 23. Book of Joshua, chapter 23. And book of Joshua 23. 11. Take your heed unto yourselves that you love the Lord your God. Also, if you do otherwise, go back. Which all my marriage with them, which is on to them, right? Which in process of time did happen. The fall of our people. The fall of our people came because we didn't, obey law, statutes, and commandments. And that was that's to the 11th chapter. Mary, I went into the book. Not too long ago, and told his own son Tobias, hey, don't make the marriages, among these people, his concubines, right? For a certain quarter to God, drive out limitations before you. There should be snares and traps unto you, and scourges in your eyes, and claws in your sides. About it, like you black women out there, how many men seriously, yourself because you're black. That's a very big issue. It's a big issue. You're gonna have to meditate on that, man. Remember, man, our Messiah is a dark-skinned man. The Messiah, Yahushua, is a dark-skinned man. And there's no getting around that, So we can go back into this. Push, man. Push yourselves. Make sure I just want to go into get my major precepts. I'm pretty much going to go into one article. We can't, we'll just do the best we can. We'll go until we make a point. I'm not gonna just stop, at like 10 minutes because it's cold. It's because it says be in season, out of season. So you're supposed to be out there when it's cold, when it's hot. There's things you can do, like getting in shape. If like the this heat, but you know, there's nothing you can do when it's cold, man. You just gotta toughen out. And that's the most important thing. You just gotta show up. Well, you gotta have the spirit. That's really the thing. You know, we have our elders to watch and to take note of. This book of Sirach, 20, 38 to 24 is the point. The wisdom of a learned man cometh by opportunity and leisure. That when he that have little business, shall become wise. Right? And that's the thing. We're out here and I have opportunity and leisure on the weekends. I specifically keep Sunday open and my weekends open, you know, just so I can come out here, you know, and be able to teach and put out this word, you know. But you other people out here, you guys are doing so much stuff and doing this, doing that, you know, y'all ain't stopping, you know. More often than not, it's really the homeless. The homeless, listen, you know, the homeless want salvation more than you people, man, you know. Which is, you know, makes sense. You know, they're the ones that, you know, they're struggling in like a physical sense, a monetary sense. You know, we all have our struggles that we all deal with in the spirit. You know, but we all try to be the best that we can. And I'm talking within the bounds of brotherhood, which I can't really speak on because I am no elder and I am, you know, I'm not a well-traveled kind of brother. You know, some men are well-traveled, well-experienced, you know, like a hardened veteran of the truth, you know. I'm just a kind of, I'm just some kid, man. I'm just a young, not a kid, a young kind of kid, young guy in there, you know, young man, if you want to say. But kid just means like goat, you know what I mean. This is the book of Amos 3 and 6. Shall trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be an evil in the city, and the Lord hath not done it? You know, that's again another free will scripture, you know. Want to make sure the 12 tribe chart is visible. You know, when people want to come by, they can go ahead and look at it. You know, I want to make sure it's visible. You know, I'm just scared of the signs getting blown away because that's happened to me more than a few times, and it's very embarrassing. And also, I never want to leave the tripod unattended because you never know who's around and people want to steal your shit. But I've seen that happen to a brother where, like, he was teaching and someone came from behind him and like jacked his sign. You know, so you got to be very careful. You know, that's why you always have something behind you. You always have a wall. Right? Verse 7, surely the Lord God will do nothing, but he reveals the secret unto his servants, the prophets. You know, and if you Christians out there, you know, you Edomites, you so-called white people out there are truly the people, where's your prophets? I don't really see no Edomite prophets. When has an Edomite ever been, you know, prophesying of everything? You know, your pastors don't even get into prophecy like that. You know, and when they do, they get it wrong. You know, they say that Armageddon is going to be a battle between Satan and the Most High God, Christ. And there's going to be a big battle in heaven between the angels and the demons. Hey, man, listen here. The angels and the demons, they work for the same person, man. They're on the same side. They're the sons of the Most High. All right? You can read about that in Job, the 1st chapter. There's another one, which I think is in 2 Kings, the council in heaven. You know, the angels and the demons, they're working for the same person, man. And how is the thing created going to be stronger than the thing that created it? You know, that doesn't make any sense. Right? The blind have roared, but who will not hear? The Lord God has spoken. If you can, you prophesy. Absolutely. And that's what we do. You know, we come out here, right? I shall see thy teachers. You know, we come out here, you know. Really what that one means also is that you're supposed to show your face, but I'm going to be honest, you know, that's a rebuke to myself, so I can, brothers, that's coming soon. You know, I don't really do a whole lot of videos of my face. You know, I kind of record these videos out after I'm kind of, you know, done with stuff for the day, and by the time you're done with everything for the day, it's like, oh man, I don't want to have to like get myself together again, put on some proper clothes, and then show my face just when I look at the video, you know, get everything shut off. That seems to work. Let's see, hopefully we won't damage the tripod. Oh, that'll work. Forgive me, brothers. This is fucking stupid. Turn this shit off. Alright. I don't know what button I clicked, but it started just opening tabs and like almost holding them in like a pool. And I'm like, how the fuck do you fix that? I don't use an iPad often. Like I don't even really use tablets. The only reason I have the tablet out is for the truth's sake. If I didn't do this, I would never have a tablet. Yeah, we're gonna keep pushing on. I don't know. If the wind gets like really bad, I'm gonna have to call it. Like if it's just like bad for like 40 minutes straight or something, and I can't even talk because it's just like jumbling my camera or whatever. I'll have to keep the call. I think I'm good for that. Man, oh man, it's getting cold, man. Make you feel that way. Make you feel that it's colder than it actually is. So you want to stop. You want to quit. Deuteronomy 29, verse 29. The secret things belong to the Lord our God, and those things which are revealed unto us, to our children. But those things which are revealed unto us, all the words of this law. You know, and that's what it is. All things that are revealed unto us belong unto us. Lord has blessed us with the same prophets, and that's what happened across the time. Certain secrets were revealed to certain chosen men, right? Those secrets, you know, were preserved by scribes. Some of the prophets also were scribes, you know, and you know, preserved for our time. You know, the scribes got them, and then they wrote them over and over and over again. And now they're always here. Just a little physics, and I think that'll work very well. I took my easel back and I just threw it over the side of the tripod, and I had it hold it up, and I put it on the side where the wind was blowing. So now the wind blows, hits the easel bag, and it doesn't get to the other side, and it doesn't tip over at all. You know. So back in upstate, I used to tie like little weights to it and dangle it off, and that's how I get my lessons in, you know. This is the book of 1 Corinthians 2:9, but it's written, I have not seen or ear heard, neither have entered to the heart of men the things which the Most High God had prepared for them that love Him. Right? No, we don't know. We can't comprehend. That's Isaiah 64:4, because I remember reading it. Right? Isaiah is actually the most quoted Old Testament book in the New Testament. Now, if the so-called, now if the Old Testament, is done away with, not the so-called Old Testament, the Old Testament is done away with, why is that there? Why does Yahushua constantly refer to these things? And all the elders and the apostles, why do they constantly keep referring to the Old Testament? Refer to things that happened of old. Why? Verse 10, but God hath revealed them unto us by His Spirit, and His searches all things, yea, the deep things Most High. And that's how we're able to get these things out, through Spirit. We bring out these prophecies, bring out current events, wars, pestilence, death, destruction. Devils, they've been talking about some disease X or something, disease, something that if it was to come, that destroy everything, essentially. But that would cause great death. I'm just being, saying I'm over exaggerating. I tend to do that, from time to time, when I make light of it. But that's what's gonna come. We know that already. I bring out Matthew 24 like a billion times, but it's in Mark and Luke, and we know what we're talking about. All right, let's go to the last thing I would like to get, which is this book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, and so we'll get back into the scriptures, into this article, and then that'll be that. But we'll go in here, we'll fight on. Right? This is 2nd Ezra 8. I might have to start off a little bit. Yeah, this is the book of 2nd Ezra 8 and 55. This book of 2nd Ezra 8 verse 55. And therefore ask no more questions concerning the well, never mind, the experimental failure. Oh well. I think it still works pretty well, so we'll just keep it there still. We'll just keep that like that. Right? So 2nd Ezra 8:55, therefore ask thou no more questions concerning the multitude of them that perish. Right? There's two theories for today. When they had taken liberty, they despised the Most High, thought scorn of His law, and forsook His ways. Right? So that was the version of the 2/3 back then. Just making Israelites. They didn't care. They had the ability to turn back. They didn't do it. They didn't do it. 27. Moreover, they have trodden down His righteousness, said in their hearts that there is no God, yea, and that knowing they must die. You know, and that's what's gonna happen to our people. You know, and you know the same thing that happened back then. You know, our people, they had the time to turn back before the days of 70 AD. They didn't, and then they died. And now, you know, before Jacob's trouble, the people had liberty and the time to turn back, and they're not, and then they're gonna die. And that's just what it's gonna be. You know, that's how it goes down. You know, always before this big destruction, the Lord sent His prophets down the earth to go out and tell the people, hey, you need to get right. You know, and this is how you get right. You know, you gotta keep the law, statutes, and commandments. You can't eat pork. You can't eat lobster. You can't eat shellfish. You know, you can't commit adultery. You know, you can't be, you know, homosexual, right? You gotta, you know, come out. You gotta learn. You know, you gotta find a camp. You know, you gotta watch the videos. You know, you gotta actually read. You know, like actually read. You know, and take notes. Not skip. Not try to read the scriptures like a comic book. Actually read it. You know, and I'm not getting at you brothers. I'm getting at, you know, as Christians, comic book, right? It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 8, verse 59. For the things aforesaid shall receive you, so thirst and pain are prepared for them, that it was not His will that men should come to naught. When they be created, have the Father named Him that made them, and were thankful unto Him which prepared life for them. Therefore, my judgment now at hand. You know, so you know, as you always bring out, at first, you know, we were created to be perfect. We were created to follow all statutes and commandments. You know, but you know, starting with the fall in the garden, our people were wicked. You know, it wasn't just, you know, Adam's fault. We all take fault for it. You know, of course, Adam was our leader. You know, he fell first, and we followed right along with him. But you know, it's also the fault of the people as a whole. The fault of all the Adamites, the fault of all Israel. Yeah, that's why when you read, you know, the prayers of repentance by, like, you know, Daniel always said, you know, we have sinned. Even though he himself, you know, he was staying steadfast for the Lord. He always says, we have sinned. You know, we have went off. You know, because it's us as a people. These things that were not shown to me that's what Archangel Uriel is saying. You know, remember the Lord, He always sends those angels to God and give the visions to the prophets back then. You know, and that's the way things were done. But nowadays, prophets by teaching. This isn't gonna work. Let's see if I can set it out to be as wide as fucking possible here. Alright. Too close, but not too far. That's good enough. Right? So, no further ado, we can go into the news, because, you know, always important. God damn it. Fuck, man. The wind is crazy today, man. Let's go this over here. Push that over there. And then just hold on and we'll continue fighting. I don't even know if the New York camp taught yesterday, because if they didn't, it kind of makes sense why. But I forgot which one is their channel, so I'll find it one time. Secretary warns a world war of China and North Korea and Russia in 5 years. You know, now, know whether it will be 5 years, could be next year. Chances are it's going to be next year or this year. You know, when everything comes to an end, because that's the end, man. World War I is the end. Right now, you know that. You know, I think it's 2nd Esdras, the 6th chapter. Measured out the time diligently itself. The sun passes, you know, it's the very same time when the highest begin to visit the world which he made, right? So this is the book of Acts chapter 1. This is the book of Acts chapter 1 verse 1. Before Jesus that might be all, you know, that Christ began both to do and teach. The day in which he was taken up. After that, he, through the Holy Spirit, had given commandments unto the apostles whom he had chosen. Right? To whom also he showed himself alive at his passion by many infallible proofs, by seeing them 40 days to speak of the things pertaining to the kingdom of the Most High. And that's what happened when he was there 40 days. You know, speaking to the apostles and, you know, disciples and stuff like that. You know? And being assembled together with them, and commanded them that they should not depart from Jerusalem, but wait for the promise of the Father, that saith he, ye have heard of me. For John truly baptized with water, but ye shall baptize with the Holy Ghost not many days hence. You know, John the Baptist, he already prophesied that, you know, that to someone, you know, mighty and high shall baptize with fire, tribulation. Also receive the Holy Spirit, which against us that you already have the Holy Spirit. That's the true baptism. Is he baptized with water? Know what the Spirit is. And so, verse 6, and when they were therefore come together, they asked him, saying, Lord, will thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel? And because that's what, you know, the apostles, the elders, that's what they always were looking forward to. But the kingdom being restored back to them. You know, now, calling themselves the people, Amalekites, the people, what does he need to hold for? He's perfect. He's perfect in his society. He has all the money. He has all the resources. His people will run the colleges and the schools. His people will run the fucking country, essentially. You know, essentially, really. It's just really just a puppet state. They want us to be like Israel is just a puppet state of the West, but really it's the other way around. They're all puppet states of Israel. And the fact that these European nations are, you know, turning back, it's just only a sign of the end that eventually they are going to betray America. You know, eventually they are going to betray America and Israel. They're just going to betray them, more so America. So that's pretty much that, right? Restoration of the kingdom is synonymous with war. So, you keep reading on. British Secretary of State for Defense Grand Shafts has warned that the world has entered a new pre-war era, and that the United Kingdom must be ready with a global conflict that could break out within 5 years. Right? So World War III, according to this, British Secretary of State, can happen within 5 years. Now all these, they believe that, they don't really see this place going past 2025. But once again, we just got because of very inflammatory times. But the real thing that we should be looking for, which is the next thing, is not exactly World War III. We should really be looking at, we look at everything, right? But the next thing that we look for is martial law, right? We know that, we're dealing with a migrant crisis, that crime is rampant, right? So we should really be looking for martial law. Right? Shafts, who became defense secretary last year, noted in his first public speech at an event in London historical Lancaster House that the West is dealing with a much more troubled world than it has since the end of the Cold War, and it could no longer be characterized as post-war, right? So it's no longer a post-Cold War world, but I guess you could say now we're inside of a neo-Cold War, but I guess the Cold War, it kind of never really went away. I guess you could say it kind of fizzled out in the 90s, but, the world hasn't really been at peace since the 90s. And ever since, 2001, 9/11 went down, the whole war on terror, ever since that, there's always been war. We find ourselves at the dawn of this new era. The fall of the Berlin Wall is a distant memory, and we've come full circle, moving from a post-war to a pre-war world, says Shafts. An age of idealism has been replaced by a period of hard-headed foolishness and continued to adversaries this ability that barriers of enemies are reanimated, false TV shows, battle lines, drawn. I believe it's Matthew 7:13, where Christ said himself that he's not come to let's see if I can find it. He's not come to bring peace upon the world, but with a sword. And that's what Christ is here to bring. He's here to bring, death and destruction. And that death and destruction is unfolding before your eyes. Anybody hasn't come yet. We can see that the world is becoming more and more divided. It's becoming, more and more, I guess you could say, war ready. Right now what precepts do you think I'm going to get, right? If you've been on this truth for a minute, you already know where I'm going. Not that I'm some sort of special brother or something, or special, or none of us think like that anyway. Right? This is the book of Joel, chapter 3. Get this in the KJV. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3 and 1. From old in those days in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, right, which happened already. We're dragged over here in slave ships over here to America. All across the Americas. And different ethnic groups were brought over to different places. The Angolans were, which are our brothers in Judah. Were dragged out to Brazil and stuff. So there's different ethnic groups, right? Verse 2, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, also the land where Armageddon will take place, which is in the Middle East. It's kind of going to the area kind of around Saudi Arabia, that kind of area, kind of to that whole kind of region is where World War III is going to take place. And that's where, multiple big world events as of late are taking place. Right? We already know about Israel and Palestine. Now we got Iran and Pakistan. We know about, the Iraq war and stuff like that went down. War in Afghanistan and stuff like that. And then you got, all kinds of stuff. That's the place where it is. It's the land where there's abundant resources. Also, extremist, militant ideologies around there. You know, hobbyism, stuff like that. Salafism is also a big one where a lot of these terrorists like to follow, but they follow different stuff. You know, Islam is, they got different schools and they all believe different stuff. But these things, because remember it talks about that in 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter, the dragons and the raven shall remember their nature. You know, remember that Ishmael's prophecy was that he shall be a wild man. So, you know, that's just what it is. These ideologies are just, you know, showings of Ishmael's wild nature, you know, to be wild and to go out there and kill, you know, and you can see that. You know, now in certain regards, it's honorable what they do, you know, if they're willing to blow themselves up and die for things they believe in, you know, to fight nations much more powerful than they, die horrible deaths, you know, for the things they believe in. That's honorable. And they, you know, they believe in, you know, not the true power. You know, they believe in Allah, you know, which that stuff goes back to heathenism and, you know, heathen ideologies. Remember, Mecca was host to like 300 something heathen gods. You know, and all that stuff with Islam just came out of the Catholic Church. That's why Islam and Catholicism are really so similar. You know, so none of you Ishmaelites come blow up my house, please. All right, I'm just here to tell you the truth, man. You know, we're not out here saying, yo, fuck your dead mom in Palestine. We're not seeing that. You know, to blow up our house or something like you did to that other camp. You know, you guys really are wild, you know. So, verse 3, Nabcast lost from my people, have given a boyfriend harlot, and so the girl for one that they might drink. Right? Let's go back to slavery. Yeah, what have you to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, on the coast of Palestine? We render me a recompense me swiftly and speedily, but return the recompense upon your whole head. For you take my silver and gold and carry to your temples my good and pleasant things. Right? That's what's happening. Right? That's what the Ishmaelites did, because the Ishmaelites were there by the Turks, you know, I think around I don't know, like 1600s, 1700s or so. You know, Turkish Empire moved there, moved them over there, but you know, in time, you know, in the 1900s, you know, Amalek basically came up in there and took over the region. Right? Far from the border, we're shackled. Right? We've always been a slave soldier. Behold, I will raise them out of this world, turn your recompense upon your own head, and I'll sell your sons and daughters to children of Judah, and your sons and Sabians to people far off, and will have spoken to them. You know? And that's what we're going to do to Esau. We're going to sell them to the Sabians. We're going to have our own slave trading. Which really means actually Gentiles, other nations. Prepare war, wake up the mighty man, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Right? And that's what's going on in this article. It's basically a call, you know, by the British Secretary of State to basically get ready for war, get ready for a fight. You know, World War III is something that could take place in 5 years, but hey, you know, World War III is something that could take place in 1 year. You know, maybe 2 years. You know, I'm just gonna say what the elders say, man. You know, we don't really see this thing lasting longer than 2025. Beat your plowshares to swords and your pruning hooks to spears. Let the weak say, "I am strong." Assemble yourselves, come all you heathen, and to gather yourselves round about. Then there call the mighty ones to come down, O Lord, right, which is the angels. Let the heathen make it come to the valley of Ashpat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Right? That's what's going to happen. You know, the Lord is going to judge these heathens, bring destruction unto them. Of course, the main thing that's going to happen. Oh, god damn, I'm cold. God dang! Alright. No more joking around. Focus up here. We're tough. We can handle it. We can handle the pain. 6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon, to their arrogant soul. Be not cut off from iniquity, because the time of his vengeance is reckoned unto her. You know, which hopefully will come, like they say in the church, salvation of your soul. Like it talks about in 2 Peter 1 and 10. You know, but you know, that's really what it is. You know? Babylon, verse 7, Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all that are drunken. Nations have drunken all from wine, therefore the nations are mad. And that's what it is. For pain, if so, she may be guilty. You know? And you know, economic easing, quantitative easing, you know, things like that, things to try to, you know, stimulate the economy. You know, none of that stuff is going to help. You know, nothing you do is going to fix this place. Verse 10, the Lord hath brought forth thy righteousness, come, and let's declare Zion the work of the Lord our God. Make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord hath raised the spirit of the kings of the Medes, his device against Babylon, to destroy it, because it's the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple. And the Medes are Russians. You know, and that's what the Lord is going to bring. Those nations in the north, he talks about that in Jeremiah 50. You know, so that's just going to come down, you know, and bring destruction to this place. You know, and you notice in the article, that's what they were talking about. And they said Russia. Russia's the big nation. You know, and that's also Ezekiel 38. The Lord revitalized Russia. Because before then, you know, Russia had a long time where it was ran by oligarchs who were only caring about money, you know, and hedging their own, you know, keeping their own profit. They're going to profit themselves and caring for the people. So that's what's going on. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 16. Oh, fuck. It's cold. Damn. Let's go. Let's get teaching. The rest of the article, which isn't really necessary, I just want to get to these scriptures and things like that. You know, land my plane. But, you know, he basically calls for more defense spending. You know? Oh, damn it. This is the book of Revelation 16 and 12. The sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. And when you look it up right now, that whole water is being dried up as we speak. You know, it's been drying up for a minute, you know, and decreasing. And I would like to say, when I read it, I'd like to say it was something about the environment. But you know that the Lord, he has his hand in all things. You know? The scriptures, you know, the Psalms goes all into that. He has his hands in the clouds, and then, you know, he has his hand in the rain, and causes the rain. He controls everything. Just right here, he said that it was nature. Which is the so-called three city-states, Vatican, which is the religious center of Catholicism. You got the Pentagon, which is the military center, and then you also have the London, which is the financial center of the elites. You know, you got all this street to walk on, but they have to walk like literally a millimeter away from the camera, you know, you don't have to walk that close. You know, you could just, you know, walk in that space in the middle. You know, but that's the stuff you got to deal with. You know, it's the stuff that I have to go through to as a prerequisite to give you brothers this truth. While I still can. I don't know what's going to happen to me. Verse 14. For they are the spirits of devils working miracles. They go forth to the kings of the earth and the whole world to gather to the battle of that great day of the Most High Almighty. Right? To that day, that great battle. Where's it going to take place? In the Middle East. That's where everyone got their hands in, man. Russia, China, they all got their hands in the Middle East. America's top enemies got their hands in the Middle East. Europe got their hands in the Middle East. I believe was the Middle East was called like the Great Game or something by the British. Because them kind of running around the Middle East. That's nothing new. That's been going on since the 1800s, 1900s. That's been going on for a minute. Right, verse 15. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed he that watcheth and keepeth his garment, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. And walking naked doesn't mean like literal. It just means that you be found, exposed, that you weren't doing what you were supposed to be doing. So blessed is he that keeps his garments, that you stay in this truth, man. As you stay watching, you stay reading, you stay doing the right thing, you stay making your videos, that you don't say, man, fuck it, man. I'm just gonna be a nigga. I'm just gonna be a nigga. I'm gonna be a nigga in the world, and I'm gonna, smoke weed and, be a fucking degenerate and fuck the scriptures, fuck keeping the holy days, which Purim is coming up. Purim. I don't know how to say it in Hebrew as of yet, but I will know. I think it's Purim, if I'm correct, but going to that, the feast of lots. I think that's what it means, lots, feast of lots. So I'll make something. I'll get something prepared. So keep your garments, man. Stay right. Stay bringing out this truth. Don't fall out into the world, man. Don't be distracted over much. Nothing wrong with getting laid or something like that, man. We all need to every once in a while. I'm just keeping it real. We're all men here. We're all men here. You gotta get some every once in a while. You know what I mean? We don't gotta go too deep into that. I don't need to give you a deep breakdown on that one, right? It's good to say let everything be done in balance. The false balance is an abomination to the Lord. Leviticus 16:16, and he had gathered them into a place in the Hebrew tongue called Armageddon. Now a lot of these Bible scholars, they say Armageddon is some battle place or it's figurative, but nah, man, Armageddon is the Middle East. That goes right in with Joel the 3rd chapter. And the battle of that great day, in that place that's going to be, the Middle East. And that's where World War III is going to take place. And it's their Secretary of State is basically making the call, saying, "Hey, man, get ready, y'all better get ready. A conflict is inevitable." And it's not inevitable because he says it's inevitable. It's inevitable because the Most High has made it inevitable, and He has called it, and He has said these things of old, 2,000 years ago, thousands of years ago. He said these things and brought these things out to John the Revelator, and then earlier on with Joel, so that's pretty much what went down. I'm going to say Panya HaKodam. I'm going to say Kalaim La Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Bashem HaPakad Badash. And double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone GMS who do rule and teach well. And young brother here, Shamash One, closing out. That's pretty much it. Go on everything. This works. It's all good. Stop.